It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Denver Broncos and the Baltimore Ravens. And it's coming up next.
Some might say it's cold. Others, like myself and my partner, we say this is football weather as we welcome you to chilly M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Denver Broncos and the Baltimore Ravens. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well, too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. They'll run with Edwards here to begin the drive. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
On third down, Jackson. And that will be incomplete.
They are such a talented team at defending the perimeter and taking away throws to the outside. Great confidence, great skill.
Fourth down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Pulled in at the 24. A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Now here's Russell Wilson, 11th season in the league. First, of course, with Denver after a high-profile trade this offseason that saw him dealt from Seattle.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 37. They begin, and right away, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball is not free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. Here's Wilson. Going with a screen for Murray. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Time to give them credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
You're crediting your defense.
Gotta credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. There's Wilson to throw. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. A man who has done this a lot, Justin Houston, in there to record the sack. Anytime you sack Russell Wilson, that's a win for the defense. But to get him here on his opening drive of the ball game, that's a really big win for that defense.
And the goal every week, keep him in the pocket. Don't let him get to the perimeter because when he's in the open field, not only can he hurt you, but also you lose sight of receivers downfield, and they'll hurt you with big plays.
So on 4th down, the Broncos send Corliss Waitman out to punt. Going to be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Alex Singleton, a former Canadian League star, in on the stop.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
Well, they're always hoping on that type of a play that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end of the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward. Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
On 2nd down, here's the option. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Off the option, here's Edwards. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Here's Edwards again on second down. And he'll be down close to the first down marker as he gets this to the Broncos 36. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll run the option on 3rd and short yardage. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. He loses 4, and it brings up 4. Well, that pendant really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And the Ravens strike first and 3's in. So after drive number 3 here, we have a score, and it's 3 points after the field goal.
I would say the feeling out process for both these teams, I'd say it's over, partner. Everyone understands what's going on now. You've kind of probed a little bit. Now you want to start throwing the big shots. First 3 points up on the board could be significant.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. That's to about the 28. Second down coming up.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll run the counter with Murray. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. The defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
This goes to the tight end, Eric Saubert. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A 1st down and then some. Give him 29 yards. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. Now Wilson on 1st down. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Working with a 2nd and 3. Now Wilson. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
But there's an incompletion there, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. On the delay, this is Murray. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Wilson. That's caught left side by Judy. And he's going to get this down near the 25. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. From the 25 on 2nd down, Wilson, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free, and there's another example, another incompletion.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Wilson. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A couple of veterans, Wilson to Sutton there for the Bronco first. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. A shotgun handoff. This is Murray now. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. To throw is Wilson. That's going to be caught by Judy. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you want to give him a little extra for the effort, but instead he sets his guys up in excellent shape with a 1st and goal. Come on, let's go.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Touchdown, Broncos! Latavius Murray, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. McManus's point after is good, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. after the touchdown. Here's McManus now to kick it away. Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. "35 seconds, all that remains in the first half as they come up on first down. Now it's Jackson. He'll set up the screen to Drake. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. First order of business, though. Let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Denver. And it was a tricky half to figure out numbers-wise. They've got the lead, but you'd figure they're definitely talking about ways to get this passing game back on track. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively, just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again, 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the gun, it's Wilson. And his throw here is incomplete.
Well, they approach this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Wilson. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and they will take over 1st and 10. couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. It'll be a gain of 5. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
They'll try and run for the first with Edwards. Yeah, this is going to depend on the spot, but I believe he might be a few inches short. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is taken around the 12. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And out will come the offense as they take over. Denver's offense now set to go. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Open man, and again it's Sutton. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. From midfield now, here's Wilson. That goes out wide to Murray. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing is Wilson. He completes this to Sutton. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. So a decent gain there, but not their fourth consecutive first down like they had on the first 3 plays.
You sound almost disappointed there. You want to fire the offensive coordinator on that one or what?
They've gotten into a rhythm. I thought they were just going to keep going.
Well, almost a win for the defense, but if that's your win, you're not doing very well right now.
Just a yard to go here on second down. They'll run it left side with Murray. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
And defensively, Baltimore's in a dime look here on 3rd. They'll run here. It's Murray. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Murray. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling, held it to an okay gain.
That's complete right around the 8. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. Now it's Wilson. The quick slant caught. Touchdown. Jerry Jeudy from 8 yards out. And the Broncos are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead. But that makes this a 2-score ball game. And, you know, the way this thing has been going, Charles, 2 scores kind of feels like 3 or 4 scores.
Yeah, that's a great observation. It's been a heck of a battle, hasn't it? And points have been at a premium throughout this game. So you have to wonder, is this going to be too much for them to overcome?
Now McManus for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. That time a 9-play drive. And it's capped off by the touchdown run from Jerry Jeudy. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25. The Ravens offense back out there. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Making that play behind the line was Justin Simmons. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Jackson. Slings it to Andrews. And Andrews lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. Inside the 20. Then he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. He finds his man, complete. It's Murray. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that will bring up 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. Touchdown, Broncos. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Broncos have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. So an important touchdown right there is now they're really beginning to pull away.
Yeah, this was a tight game until not too long ago. But since then, they've hit the accelerator. And they pushed the lead up to 3 scores here in the 4th quarter. And I don't see them looking back.
McManus now for the extra point. And it's 21-3. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. And plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the 2 of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Jackson's throw is on target to Likely.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So it was already a gain on the completion, but tack on some more with that penalty.
Absolutely. No matter what angle you're making the tackle from, you can't grab the face mask, and that's just putting your defense on its heels just a little bit more.
So the penalty yards marched off on the face mask. Here's 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Nick Bonito from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Now a throw here to his running back. On the move past the 40. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Jackson will throw again. And it's caught. And the Ravens are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Jackson from the shotgun. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. 10 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Ravens are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Tucker with the extra point, and it makes the score 21-10. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. The win for the Broncos seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And you and I, we just looked at each other and kind of had the same thought. I don't think that we saw this result coming. If they were going to win, maybe at home, but not here on the road.
No, not at all. We thought that at the end, you know, the strength would win out, and that didn't happen. But let's give them credit. Went on the road without being intimidated. Went on the road with not just belief, but a strong belief that they can pull it off and took advantage of every opportunity in this one.